Hello, everyone. My name is Mike Moran, author of the Believers superhero novel trilogy series. We are currently reading chapters from book two. So let me share my screen. Let's get started. All right, here we go. Chapter 11, Date Night. Everything is going according to plan. Great to hear, boss. When do I get to squash Jerry like a bug? Patience, Porter. Your time will come soon. Why don't we go to his house right now and kill him? Porter asked anxiously. Other criminals tried that before and it didn't work. So shut up and follow the plan. But boss, your plan takes so long. I have a life too, you know. Do you? I'm pretty sure I own you now. Don't make me use my powers on you again. Yeah, whatever. Let's just get this over with, Porter conceded. Two men were talking inside an apartment. The walls and shelves were full of plaques, trophies, ribbons, and pictures from the police department. However, they were all slashed, cracked, or disfigured. The boss sat down at a computer desk and began playing videos. He watched Megafist pummeling Jerry, Acid Man fighting Jerry, Gabriel shooting Jerry, and Laserpoint killing both Acid Man and Gabriel. Those last two were mistakes, the boss grumbled as he closed the video player. I'll rectify that shortly. The boss stood up, grabbed a few things, and left the apartment. Porter looked around for a moment. Then he disappeared into thin air. Jerry, are you ready yet? Cynthia's waiting for you. Almost, Mom. Okay, dear. Try and hurry up. You've been working too much lately, and she deserves more of your time, Mrs. Miller complained. Thank you, Cynthia shouted, feeling happy that someone understood her feelings. Jerry was at his parents' house, late afternoon, getting ready for a date with Cynthia. Of course, he was running late again because of work. Mrs. Miller was downstairs watching TV and gossiping with Cynthia. Mr. Miller was asleep, taking his usual after-work nap on the recliner chair. Jerry finally finished getting dressed and ran downstairs wearing jeans and a purple dress shirt. He even gelled his hair, just like Ryan taught him, because he wanted to look good for his long-awaited date with Cynthia. Jerry complimented her hair, noticing that it was shiny and had more curls than her usual straight brown hair. Cynthia blushed and thanked him, feeling pleased with her new look. She also noticed that Jerry purposely wore an outfit that matched her purple dress. Cynthia couldn't stop smiling, knowing that Jerry was trying his best to impress her. They both said goodbye to Jerry's parents and walked out of the house. Are you hungry? Jerry asked. Not yet. We can do something else first if you'd like. Great. I have a surprise for you, Jerry eagerly replied. He quickly ran to his car and pulled a blanket out of the trunk. What kind of surprise? The special kind, Jerry answered. Then he grabbed Cynthia's hand, pulled her in close, and they disappeared. They instantly appeared on top of a mountain. It was a bright, starry night with a cool breeze. Cynthia walked to the edge of the cliff and saw trees and desert sands all around. There were no signs of civilization anywhere nearby. She had no clue where they were, but it was certainly breathtaking. She soon felt chilly and asked, Where are we? We're in Africa, Jerry nonchalantly responded as he laid down the blanket. What? Why? Give me a second and I'll explain, Jerry said. Then he motioned for Cynthia to join him on the blanket. Cynthia walked over, laid down next to Jerry, and immediately felt better. His soothing energy aura enveloped her, making her feel warm and safe. She looked at him, and her heart melted. This was the best surprise and everything she dreamed of, being whisked away to a secret romantic location with no one to bother them. It was perfect. Jerry stretched his arm under her head, and they both laid there quietly for a while, watching the stars and enjoying a peaceful night together. Eventually, Jerry broke the silence and began explaining. Every time I go to work, I feel bad knowing that I'm putting my life in danger and worrying you. It's okay, Jerry. I'm getting used to it. But you shouldn't have to, Jerry exclaimed. With my powers, we could live a rich and carefree life anywhere we want. Do you know how tempting that is? Cynthia looked worried and asked, Is that why you brought me here? To show me what a different life would look like? Jerry raised his arm to the sky and said, The sky's the limit. We could do whatever we want. Maybe if I wasn't a hero, life would be better for both of us. Cynthia stayed quiet for a moment, snuggling close to Jerry and using her power to understand his mixed feelings, his mixed emotions. On one hand, he enjoyed being a hero and saving people's lives. On the other hand, he felt trapped by his powers, as if fate or destiny stole his freedom and forced him to be a hero. Jerry knew that he could not abandon his hero life without a guilty conscience. He could never enjoy a happy life knowing that people are suffering and need his help. After taking it all in, Cynthia focused her thoughts and calmed Jerry down. You're such a good person, Jerry. I know you're always worried about me and others, but you can take a break. You're allowed to enjoy your life. Don't ever feel bad about anything you do. You are perfect just the way you are, and I'll always be by your side. Jerry felt immensely better after hearing her words and fully embraced her. He couldn't ask for a better girl. She fully understood him inside and out, and she always did everything in her power to support him. Most importantly, she believed in him. This was the perfect opportunity for Jerry's real surprise. He snuck one hand into his pocket and asked Cynthia to stand up. She agreed, thinking they were going for a stroll in the mountain. She noticed that Jerry did not stand up and thought he was being lazy, so she offered her hand to pull him up. He took her hand, but did not stand up, and got onto one knee instead. Cynthia's heart began racing as she could feel Jerry's emotions faster than his words could come out. Cynthia, I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I knew you were the one the day we. Yes! Wait, I haven't even asked yet, Jerry said with confusion. Yes, all the yes, Cynthia shouted with excitement. Are you kidding me? How did you know? Jerry, I can feel your emotions. You're the one who gave me this power. You should have known this was going to happen. But what about the ring? Jerry asked. Who cares about the ring? I would have said yes to a Fruit Loop, Cynthia giggled. Well, I hope you care about the ring because it belonged to my grandmother, Jerry explained as he took out a small box with a gold diamond ring. He gently placed it on her finger, and she jumped on top of him with exhilaration, toppling him down onto the blanket. I can't believe we're getting married, and the ring is beautiful. Ah! Cynthia screamed with delight. Nothing could contain her elation and love for Jerry. She was ecstatic. She buried him with kisses until his stomach growled. I think it's time to eat, Jerry said. I think your stomach can wait a bit, Cynthia replied. Jerry laughed, and they spent a little while longer on that mountain. Jerry and Cynthia teleported back to Miami and went to a well-known Italian restaurant. Jerry had made a reservation and researched the menu a few days ago to make sure there was something he could order. He did not like Italian food, but he knew Cynthia would love it. As they sat down, Cynthia was happily sending messages to everyone about her wedding engagement with Jerry. Friends and family were all replying to her back and forth. Jerry's phone went off a dozen times too, but he ignored it all and enjoyed watching her. Jerry thought about his grandmother, who had died when he was 14 years old. While lying on her deathbed, she placed her wedding ring in his hand and said, Your grandfather made me the happiest man when he gave me this ring. I want you to keep this ring until you find the right girl and make her happy one day too. Jerry smiled, knowing he found the right girl and fulfilled his late grandmother's wish. A tear came to his eye, and he quickly wiped it away, not wanting to scare or confuse Cynthia. But she felt his emotion and quickly put her phone away. Is everything okay, Jerry? Yeah, everything's fine. Better than fine. It's all perfect because of you, Jerry affirmed. Cynthia smiled and held Jerry's hand across the dinner table, then asked, Are you sure your grandmother wanted me to have this ring? There's not a doubt in my mind. She would have loved seeing you wear it. Cynthia went in for a kiss, but Jerry suddenly gripped her hand tightly. His mood changed. Something felt different. Jerry's ears twitched. Then he quickly looked up, looked back at her, looked out a nearby window, and they both teleported outside across the street from the restaurant. Seconds later, a bus falling from the sky crashed on top of the restaurant. The impact sounded like a bomb, causing all nearby car alarms to resound in horrific unison. Glass and cement exploded outward, forcing Jerry to cover Cynthia and protect her from the blast. Debris scattered everywhere, and heavy smoke polluted the air. The bus had completely destroyed the restaurant, injuring and killing over 100 innocent victims, not including those inside the bus. People began screaming in the disaster zone, and Jerry told Cynthia to call 911. He was about to begin rescue operations until he heard maniacal laughter in the vicinity. He quickly looked around and spotted a mysterious man, but he disappeared and reappeared elsewhere, continuing to laugh. Jerry tried following the man, but he was too fast and unpredictable. He was a new believer and a master of teleportation. The man eventually stopped and yelled, My name's Porter, and I'm here to show you how powerful. My name's Porter, and I'm here to show you how powerless you are. Catch me if you can. Porter teleported numerous times around the disaster zone. Jerry chased after him, but he was unable to catch him. Jerry even tried shooting bolts of electricity to stun Porter, but he couldn't hit him. It always felt like Porter was one step ahead, until Jerry came up with a brilliant idea. Hey, Porter, if I'm so powerless, then why don't you attack me? Are you scared? Me? Scared? I can take you out anytime I want. I think you're bluffing, Porter. Prove it. Porter took out a knife, teleported behind Jerry, and stabbed him in the back. However, the knife did not hit flesh and blood. It hit solid metal and broke. Porter was caught by surprise, and Jerry punched him hard, sending him flying into a cement wall. Porter stood up feeling woozy and said, How come you didn't die? I've got skin-tight metal armor under my clothing, so there's nothing you can do to hurt me, Jerry explained. Fine, maybe I can't hurt you, but what about all the precious civilians outside? Jerry's eyes widened, realizing that many people were standing outside wondering what happened to the restaurant. He quickly shot electricity at Porter, but he disappeared and reappeared next to a car. Then he teleported the car into the sky and dropped it. Jerry teleported to the car in midair, caught it, and quickly moved it aside. But then another car was falling, one after another. Porter kept teleporting cars into the air, hoping to crush civilians below. But Jerry kept foiling his plans. Porter became frustrated and announced, You haven't seen the last of me, Jerry. This is only the beginning. There are more of us, more than you can handle. Your day of reckoning will come. We will have our revenge. Porter disappeared, and Jerry could not find him this time. Jerry returned to Cynthia and other civilians, staring with disbelief as firemen and paramedics tried their best to rescue victims from the wreckage. Jerry wanted to help by lifting and removing heavy debris, but firemen warned him that people trapped below could be crushed by the debris if it falls or moves unpredictably. Jerry was a police officer and superhero, but he felt powerless at this moment. He cringed and looked desperately at the disaster. wishing he could help. Cynthia felt his emotions and did her best to comfort him. You know this wasn't your fault, right, Jerry? How can you say that? There's no way this was a coincidence. That guy was targeting me, targeting us. And you did the best you could, Jerry. I could have done more. I could have saved everyone. I heard something falling from the sky, but then I looked to you and Jerry tried finishing his sentence, but he couldn't. He looked down at the ground, feeling angry at himself and fighting away tears. Cynthia immediately realized the truth and hugged him tightly. It's okay, Jerry. We just got engaged. It's okay. I couldn't risk losing you. I'm here because of you, Cynthia replied. How can I live with myself? Don't blame yourself, Jerry. You had no clue what was going on. I'm so sorry. I wish I could have helped. There wasn't enough time, Cynthia. It all happened so fast. But you followed your heart. You did nothing wrong. I wish there was another way. You did the best you could, Jerry. Did I? That restaurant was full of people. And what about the bus victims? You can't save everyone. I know, which is why I chose you. Was I wrong? Of course not, Cynthia retorted. How will I know? Jerry, I'll never forget what you did tonight. I'll spend the rest of my life by your side, supporting anything you do as a hero and as my future husband. Cynthia's words rang true in his heart. No matter how many people he could save, no matter how successful he could be as a hero, it would all mean nothing if Cynthia died. They both now understood how important they were to each other. Jerry will always protect Cynthia above all others, and Cynthia will always support his decisions as a hero and husband, for better or worse. That night was a test of their love, and they passed at the cost of everyone else. Jerry and Cynthia will always be both a strength and weakness for each other, which they willingly accept now and forever, till death do they part. And that's it. That's the end of chapter 11. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll keep trying to make more videos as time goes. Thank you all very much, and have a good day. Have a good night.